Hello guys, welcome back. It's Topickenya, and today we are going to learn about the court system. The court system. Now, about the court system, I know you have an idea what's a court and what's a system. Okay? And so, I don't know which country you are watching at, but I'm going to deal with Kenya court system. And about the Kenya code system, the Kenya code structure, let me operate that. The Kenya code structures operates in two levels, okay? The Kenya code structure operates in two levels, okay? For number one, we always have the what? The superior court. Then number two, we have the subordinate court. So those are the court structure that operates in two levels, okay? That is in Kenya. We have the Supreme Court and we have the subordinate court. And Supreme Court includes, starting with Supreme Court, not Supreme. Let me start with Superior Courts. Superior Courts includes, we have the Supreme Court now. We have the Supreme Court. We have the Court of Appeal. Court of Appeals, and we have what? High Court. Okay, so those are the examples of superior courts. We have the Supreme Court, we have the Court of Appeal, and we have the High Court. Okay, High Court. And at this moment, remember, these are courts. Okay, the Supreme, in a, what do you call, started with superior courts. We say we have Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, and High Court. For those who are outside Kenya, I don't know your structure there, but you may comment down there and tell me the structure of court system in your country. So continuation, we have subordinate court. Includes, about subordinate courts, we have the magistrate court. We have the magistrate court. We have the Qadis court for Muslims. We have the court martial for army. Court martial is for Kenya Defense Forces. And we have the tribunals. We have the tribunals. So those are the examples of subordinate courts and superior courts. We have them here. So make sure you are taking notes for your revision purposes. Okay, and at this point, those are the examples. Okay, another point is that the courts have power. Okay, the courts have power to hear and determine disputes, primarily for criminals, okay, and what? Civil nature. So I may write down for you to take that. So we say the courts have power. The courts have power to hear and what? And determine disputes. And determine disputes primarily of what? Criminals and civil nature. Of criminals and civil nature. Okay, that is like the main function of court. That is the work of a court mainly, like to has that power to hear and determine disputes. After determining disputes primarily of criminals and civil nature, they do what? They give some remedies, or what to call them, like the sentence. They give any punishment. Okay, so criminal cases are those in which, like, let me try to make it easy. Criminal, let me say, criminal cases are those in which the state, okay, the state prosecute okay, a person or organization okay, for committing any act, for committing an act, okay, which is not in the interest of the public, an act which is not in the, okay, which is not in the interest of the public. Hope you have understood that. That is a criminal case, okay? Those which the state prosecute a person or organization for committing an act which is not of interest, of what? Of the public, and therefore considered to be an offense against the state. Offense against the state. Then we have now, after criminal cases, we have civil cases. Remember what to say: a court have a power to hear and determine disputes primarily for criminals and civil nature. Okay, since you have understood what is a criminal case, obviously I know down in your mind you have already know what's a civil case. Okay, this is now originates from a person, okay, who seeks redress, for a private wrong, let me write, then I'll explain. For a private wrong, make sure you are writing too, of private wrong, such as what? There are many, such as we have breach of contract. Let's say there is a trespass. Which else? Let's say we have negligence. Which else? Let's say okay, and so on. Nuisance, and so on. So civil cases, we say that the criminal case are those which the state prosecute a person, okay, a person for what? Or organization for committing an act which is not in the interest of the public. Okay, that's an offense against the state. But in civil cases between two individuals, okay, someone may seek a redress in a court of law, for example, for wrong such as what? So maybe someone have breached he or she has breached the contract, or there is any trespass, or there is negligence, there is nuisance, okay, or you find that your neighbor is making noise, so you decide to redress in the court of law. Okay, that's a civil case. That's an offense against an individual. Okay, and for these wrongs doings, someone may seek that redress to gain what? Okay, we may see like remedies. Let me write that. The remedies, if a person commit these civil cases. Okay, remedies number one, it may be a compensation, okay, monetary mostly, okay. They have damages, okay, or to stop some actions, okay. We may have injunction. There are many, stopping someone from doing something. They are the same, okay. So that is injunction. They are the same. We may have what? We may have winding up of a company, okay, as long as that is a civil case. Okay, and remember, like, this is it. For example, for an injunction to occur at that point, for an injunction to be a remedial thing. Let's say for example, your neighbor cows enters into your farm. So as an individual, or as a plaintiff, you decide that you are going to court of law. So a court may order or may give out a remedial as what? May give out a remedy in injunction form, telling your neighbor that to stop, okay, to stop allowing his or her own cows from entering into your farms, okay, and that is a civil case. Okay, then we are going to continue about the importance aspect of what in the structure of courts. Okay, the important aspect. What are you going to check mostly? You're going to see that you're going to check about the structure, the establishment. Okay, so let's start with structure. Let's start with the structure. Let's start with the structure. Okay, the structure of courts. Okay, this is a hierarchy, the hierarchy levels. Let me write that. The hierarchy, or what you call the levels of court. As I said earlier, we're dealing with in Kenya. In Kenya, the top one, it's a Supreme Court. Supreme Court, then followed by Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal. I'm going to show you something. Then we have the High Court. The High Court. Remember, the High Court is the lowest, but not the lowest. There is other courts there. We have the High Court. Then after High Court, we go to the Court of Appeal. Then after Court of Appeal, we go to Supreme Court. Okay. Then let's go to establishment. The establishment. How is it established, or how was it established? Okay. So at this point, the composition or who presides the court, and articles of establishment. That's what we're going to check now. That's what we're going to check the court. So the first one we're going to see is jurisdiction. We have the jurisdiction. Remember, jurisdiction, this is the power of different courts. Okay, like for example, there is some powers that High Court cannot do, that they must be done by Court of Appeal. The same apply to Supreme Court. Okay, they have different jurisdiction. They have just jurisdiction. So what is jurisdiction? This is the power. This is the power of different courts. Okay, to hear, of different courts to hear and determine what? Disputes. Okay, and there's something else I may add here. You'll find that jurisdiction are either what? Okay, they're either geographical, territorial limits of their powers, okay, on functional powers, that geographical place. So jurisdiction are either geographical, what you call the territorial limits, the territorial limits, okay, of the powers, or what you call, or the functional powers. Okay, so those are the jurisdiction, and when you are told to explain those important aspects of what you call the court system, you must give the hierarchy, okay, that structure. You must explain the establishment and the jurisdiction of those different courts. So let's start with Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal. okay, the Court of Appeal. And at that point, it is established. First thing you must check the establish, okay? It is established under Article 164 of Constitution of Kenya. We all know that, okay? Article 164 of Constitution of what? Of Kenya, and consists the number of judges being not fewer than 12. Know that. Consists of what? Consists of members not less than 12. However, the court comprises of maximum of 30 judges. We know that, okay? Who elect a president among themselves, okay? Maximum. The maximum must be what? 30 judges. 30 judges, okay? And let me not forget about the establishment. Established under what? Under Article 164 of Constitution of Kenya. That's why I said earlier, differs. If it differs with your country, then leave your comment there. And another thing, the Court of Appeal has been decentralized. If we say something is let me begin with centralization, okay? Being in a center part, okay? It is concentrated in one area. But if we say it is decentralized, mean that they have different branches in different parts of the country. Like for example, the Court of Appeal in Kenya, they are decentralized in different counties, mostly 6 of them, okay? Countries, and they have a total of 6 registrars, okay? Each, for example, we have in Nairobi, Mombasa, where else? Nyeri, Kisumu, Nakuru, Eldoret, and so on, okay? They have what? 6 registrars at those points, so don't forget that. Then the Court of Appeal handles appeals arising over the decision of the court. That's function. Like the Court of Appeal, the Court of Appeal handles what? Appeals arising over the decision of the High Court. They appeal those cases from the High Court, okay? Remember, the last one is High Court and then Court of Appeal. So the work of the Court of Appeal is to handle those appeals arising over the decision of the what? Of the High Court, as well as what? As any other court or tribunals as provided for in law, okay? As provided by the law, okay? And that is it about the Court of Appeal. I have summarized them. That is according to this part. Thank you. So the next class, we are going to look at what? High Court. We're going to look at High Court. So thank you guys. Make sure you have subscribed, commented, and share, okay, to your friends, so that they can benefit the same from this class. So if you have any question, as I always say, make sure you WhatsApp me 48 409 509. That is my number. Make sure you do so. Thank you guys. It's Topickenya. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share.